Today we start our journey to the east side of Limgrave. We will start at the Artist Shack, head to Marika's church, and then head south into the Mistwood. There are two powers that describe the Golden Order in Elden Ring: regression and causality. As we travel through the lands between, we will see the political, social, and environmental destruction caused by the Golden Order. That is causality. Queen Marika's army defeated the giants, ushering in the age of the Erd Tree. We are now doing the very thing Queen Marika's armies did, preparing the lands between for a new age. That is regression. I bring this up because I think it brings into focus what is happening in the lands between. There's a large painting in this shack, work of a wandering artist. This painter is said to have captured the landscapes seen during the last moments of those welcomed into death's embrace. The soul of the painter and vestiges of the dead's last moments can be discovered by visiting the location depicted even now. We need to find the location, the spirit of the painter, and then we are rewarded with an item. That large distant tree is a minor Erd tree. All the trees around it make up the Mistwood. The purpose of the minor Erd trees are never explained. My theory, it's used to spread the influence of the Golden Order. All the lands the Golden Order conquered have minor Erd trees. When we get to Mount Gelmir, we will find a minor Erd tree that is withered. The area is not under the control of the Golden Order. It's the same for the Halig tree, there's no Golden Order presence. As we're running along, we hear someone calling out for us. His name's Kenneth Haight, he's from the capital city, Lindell. I'll let his dialogue play out, he gives us a lot of useful information.
You've come to lend me your aid, have you? Well, that's very kind, but, no. No, the help is very much appreciated, even from a tarnished. Despite appearances, nobility is no prerequisite to serving the true order. You might have heard of me, Kenneth Haight. Next in line is the rightful ruler of Limgrave, young Tarnished. I would have a boon of you. I want you to take back my fort. It lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. A knight commander from Stormvale took it. A fool! And plumb mad to boot. Simply obsessed with blood.
Notice how Kenneth puts his prejudice aside and accepts our help. His line about the knight being obsessed with blood is a hint to what we're dealing with.
Oh, I see. You wish to know the reward. Fret not. The great Kenneth Haight is known for his considerable largesse. The celebrations will be lavish indeed upon the dawn of my fort's retrieval. Yes. Now, allow me to furnish you with a little advice. I would take great care to avoid Godric's tarnished hunts were I in your shoes. That depraved lot are obsessed with sacrificing tarnished like you for the sake of grafting. Honestly, Godric's nothing more than a jumped-up country bumpkin. Lord? Oh, don't make me laugh. First, he hid himself amongst the womenfolk to flee the capital, then hid from Radahn in that castle. Then he insulted Melania, lost to her in battle, only to lick her boots rather than die like a man. Has he no shame, the big girl's blouse? And to think, he's the blood of Godfrey, last of the golden lineage, though you almost wouldn't know it to look at him. Yeah, I almost feel sorry for the chap the more I think of it.
To put what he said into perspective, Godric is the descendant of Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. Godric is a coward, and he's not living up to his lineage's standard. Godfrey was an amazing warrior, and he was fearless, everything Godric is not. Whatever wisdom he showed by hiding from Radahn in his castle is overshadowed when he decides to insult Melania, the single most destructive demigod in the lands between. Her not killing him is her probably realizing how pathetic of a demigod he actually is. This rundown church is a church to Marika. Notice all the golden flowers growing on the ground. Right over here we get one of the best items in the game. The Flask of Wondrous Physic. It's a potion bottle that allows us to make our own potions. We also get a sacred tear. It increases the potency of our flask. This is the closest thing that we will get to a clear shot of Marika until the very end of the game. At some of the graces in the lands between, Melna appears to us. She tells us of the spoken echoes, words of Queen Marika. Altogether, the echoes tell a story about Queen Marika and the choices she made. One of the first things she tells us is that Marika vanished a long time ago. Marika is telling the Elden Lord and his warriors that they are being stripped of their grace. Doing so causes the golden color of their eyes to dim, hence where the name Tarnished comes from. They will be driven from the lands between, wage war in a faraway land, where they will live and eventually die. What we're coming up to is a well that actually leads to an underground area in the game. A very large underground area in the game. We won't go down it right now because it's part of a quest, but it is truly a sight to be seen. This is the minor Erd tree I pointed out earlier. These trees typically have a guardian protecting them. With this area having so many rune bears in it, I'm pretty sure that constitutes a guardian. The map of the area is over here, you just have to be careful not to aggro the rune bear. We also find a few crystal tears in a basin that will go into our wondrous flask. As we travel down the path, we begin to come across more and more demi-humans. Something's going on in the area that has riled them up, and at the end of the path, we actually find out what's going on. So we come across the Mistwood ruins. Just inside the ruins, we find a slumbering rune bear, laying down at the top of a set of stairs. The reason for its slumber has to do with the flowers that it's laying next to. Trina's lily, a light purple water lily on the verge of wilting. A symbol of faith in Saint Trina, dulls the senses, preventing agitation. We find out later the wilting of the flower represents the state of Saint Trina. These are an ingredient that are used to make sleep pots later on in the game. As we sneak into the Mistwood ruins, we hear somebody howling. If we look up at the ruins, we see someone crouched up at the top of one of the walls. This starts a quest line, but first we have to go back and talk to Kale the merchant and ask him about the howling we hear. When we follow the stairs down, we find a room, and inside we find a chest. Interesting thing about chests is that they're not all the same, and they can actually show us what era the chest comes from. This chest shows a large tree flanked by 2 lions. This symbolizes the Golden Order. The talisman in the chest is called the Axe Talisman. The lord who led the Long March bore an axe, and his loyal warriors honored him by wielding axes of their own, making them very effective at dealing decisive blows. The lord who led the Long March is a reference to the Elden Lord leading the Tarnished out of the lands between. When we talk to the spirit here, we find out what's happening with the demi-humans in the area. We find a knight bedeviled by blood has taken the mother of the demi-humans, and the spirit wonders where Kenneth is at. At the front of the fort, we find an illusory tree that contains a golden seed. When the Elden Ring was shattered, these seeds flew from the Erd tree, scattering across the various lands as if life itself knew that its end had come. These are used to increase the number of flasks we carry. We also acquire a blood rose. Blood-soaked roses that bloom in blood-soaked soil, particularly beloved by those who serve the Lord of Blood. Glory to his inevitable reign. As we enter the courtyard, we find the body of the demi-human mother, most likely a sacrifice to the Lord of Blood. We also see more blood roses starting to bloom. When we reach the top of the fort, we find the knight who is the cause of the issue, and he immediately attacks us with blood magic. Upon slaying the knight, we get the Ash of War, Bloody Slash. It's the Blood Oath skill granted by the Lord of Blood. Funny thing about the Lord of Blood, in the base game, he's an optional boss who's extremely easy to miss. We climb this ladder, and at the very top, we find a chest. Inside is the left half of the Dectus Medallion. Once we get the right half, we can use the Grand Lift of Dectus to reach the Altus Plateau. We come back to Kenneth to turn in the quests, but first, I want to look at his eyes. Notice his golden eye color. That's because he's part of the Golden Order. His eye color could also come from being born from the Erd tree. All of the demigods, even those who don't follow the Golden Order, have the golden eyes. I bring this up because there are 3 ways in which we can alter our own eye color in the game. 2 of those ways go against the Golden Order. One of the biggest red flags we'll come across in this game is when we interact with people who have their face obscured. In the lands between, you can tell a lot about someone by looking them in the eye.
I've been waiting for you with bated breath. Did you manage to recapture my fort? Oh, excellent news. Just wonderful. And the knight's dead to boot. Well done, my friend. Well done indeed. I knew I was right to trust you. Now, here's your reward, as promised. Go ahead. It's all yours. Right then. Time for me to head to the fort. I've much to do. First, I'll have to re-establish communication with the demi-humans. What's that look? You don't believe me? Well, under the Erd tree, commingling with the demi-humans is made possible. Even the vulgar shall not be left behind, under the rule of true order. Which is why I, Kenneth Haight, next in line as the rightful ruler of Limgrave, have sworn to uphold it. Just you watch, my friend. Just you watch. Ah, yes. I've been meaning to ask. Would you like to enter my service? I see bright things in your future, stout warrior. Enter into my service and learn the workings of the Erd Tree's true order. And who knows? Perhaps sometime down the line, the grace of gold will return to those tarnished eyes of yours. What say you? A fine accord, is it not? Very well indeed. I knew I saw something in you. I shall await you at my fort. We shall hold a ceremony for your knighting there, I think. I see great things ahead of us. We are truly by the Erd Tree blessed.
Kenneth being a noble, he looks down on any group who's not part of the Golden Order. At the same time, he's starting to put aside his prejudice and work with people from other groups. Kenneth may be one of the most progressive nobles in the lands between. Though we are the hero in this little quest, the demi-humans don't realize this. When we step into the fort, they immediately attack us.
Ah, you, is it? I suppose you must have seen it by now, yes. The sorry state of my fort? Oh, indeed, it is a foul fate for a land to be without a ruler. One must be found, with haste, and not that awful Godric, but a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave. I'm sorry to have lifted your hopes, but I haven't the authority to raise you to knighthood as things stand. The great Kenneth Haight issues his sincerest apology. But now, I must begin my search post-haste for a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave.
This is where the quest to find the heir to Limgrave starts. Godric will have to be removed, and a person of the proper lineage will have to be found. To finish up the quests in Mistwood, we're going to head back to Kale, ask him about the howling we heard earlier.
Mistwood. I suppose he must still be skulking about. I know. Why not meet him for yourself? Next time you hear the wolves howl, make this signal right under the source. Don't fret. There is nothing to fear. I just have an inkling the two of you might hit it off.
So he wants us to meet someone, and he gives us the gesture finger snap. So there is our man, and now we just need to snap our fingers.
Who goes there? Kale sent you, did he? Ever the bloody busybody. Maybe to him you don't seem so strange. The name's Blaidd. I'm looking for a man who goes by Darrowell. He fled somewhere nearby. Or so I've heard. Come tell me if you find him before I do. I can offer you ample reward. Darrowell is nothing but a traitor, and in need of a fitting end to his tale.
This is where we find Darrowell, the forlorn hound Everjail. There are Everjails scattered across the lands between. Each one contains a single prisoner who has done something so egregious that they have essentially been imprisoned forever. We summon in Blaidd and get a little bit of dialogue.
Darrowell, rotting in a cell is no true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
Bat rolling is what happens when I forget to take my boots off. I need more endurance. I'm not sure if the Bloodhound has a high poise damage on his weapon, or if Blaidd just has a low poise score.
Right. There you are. Had to work for it, but it's done. Don't say I'm not a man of my word. Here's your prize. Oh yes. I should say, if you venture north to Raya Lucaria and come across a venerable blacksmith who's a little on the large side, tell him I sent you, and he'll be sure to treat you right. I owe you one, I reckon.
This is the first of a few quests in which we team up with Blaidd. His questline is part of what I believe is the canon ending. This is where I'm going to end the video. If you've watched to the end, I thank you, and I hope you're having a good week.